Hey guys, sorry I am late starting on this. I kind of got caught up doing some other stuff. So I am gonna wait for a little bit just to see before we get some other people get on here. My hair is like super weird right now. Sorry guys. Okay, yeah, so I'm just gonna wait a minute and wait for people to jump on. If you are able to watch this live, thank you guys so much for joining us. We do this every Monday. If you're watching this recorded, thank you for watching this. Monday nights, 8 p.m. Mountain Time is when we are doing these. So be sure to jump on and ask any questions if you guys might have. If you are jumping on later on, you're always welcome to post on the team page, reach out to your sponsor, reach out to me, and ask any questions. So today we're going to talk about effective sampling and follow-up. Hey Ginger, thanks for joining. So effective sampling. So I thought this might be something that we haven't really done anything specific on sampling and how to sample things out. And so I thought this might be a good topic, especially for those who are just starting out and very specifically geared toward everybody that is hoping to sample this holiday season without going broke, basically. And so there's a lot of different ways to sample product, and there's like this cycle thing that the marketing came up with a little while ago that was like, this is how you get sales and this is how you recruit people. And like the first thing was to get posh on the people. That is like your first goal that you should have as a consultant. Even if like if you're brand new, you've been around for a while, your first goal is to get posh on the people. You can talk all day long about how cool Posh is and how you love the company and post graphics and pictures and all this stuff all day long. But if you don't have them try it, then they're not going to fully understand it. They're not going to get the full Posh experience. So first and foremost, Posh on the people is incredibly important, which is why we're doing effective sampling, because you don't need to have a lot of money. You don't need to like invest in a ton of different supplies and make it look super cute. Okay, you don't need that. You don't need to have all this fancy stuff. The main goal and the thing that you need to remember is Posh on the people is the biggest thing. Okay, so I want you guys to keep that in mind whenever you are thinking about sampling out, and or you're seeing really cute samples and you're just kind of like overwhelmed because you don't think you can make yours that cute, or you don't have all the supplies to do that. That's okay. Posh on the people is your goal. Okay, so let me just kind of go through different things. If you guys have questions, be sure to comment. If you guys have different ways of doing things, let me know. But I'm just going to show you guys a variety of different things. I have done trainings on this before, but I want to really kind of focus a little bit more, not necessarily like how I sample, but focus a little bit more on how to sample effectively. Now, you could make samples all day long, but the samples that I recommend that you focus on are things that are easy for people to try and things that you also love. So things that are products that you love, that you can talk all day about, products that you are obsessed with, because then when you're talking to people about why you sampled a Snarky bar, they'll understand that you are absolutely obsessed with it, and they'll understand why. Something that's really easy for them to try. So I usually like hand cream is incredibly easy to sample out, because you only need to put a pea-sized amount in it. So whatever, like in a Laycon. It's very, very simple. You can have it in your bag. You can, anywhere you go, if you are out and about and you're putting on some hand cream, maybe you're in line at the checkout, ask somebody around you, does anyone else want, like, anyone else need hand cream? Hey guys, so that's like your easiest thing. You have a hand cream on you at all times. You can sample that out to everybody. You are at a dinner with friends. You are at a dinner with family. You're like, hey, hand cream, anybody, squirt, squirt, squirt. Easy peasy, right? You just sampled everybody. It's like a mini, whatever, Posh party thing. So effective sampling really starts with sampling things that you can talk about and things that you absolutely love. I love, and I recommend everybody pretty much do this, but sampling like a face wash, like the BFF, because that shows you how little product, how much you don't, how little of product you need and how amazing it is for your skin. So something like that kind of shows you how different Posh can be. So cute little clear self-sealing bags, $100 for, or I'm sorry, $100 for $1 holds a hand cream, a business card, and a chunk / snarky sample. Yeah. I'm assuming like this, Charlie. This is what, so these are little baggies. These are about 2 by 3. I got these at the jewelry section at my local craft store, so the Hobby Lobby. I can't remember how much I paid for them. I did get a bulk discount for like a bunch of them online. You guys don't have to do that, obviously, if you're brand new. Just go grab some. Make sure you get a coupon and use this. But this has a chunk, or a chunk sample in here. Very easy to do. Chunk samples and hand creams go very far. So those are kind of the things that I like to recommend, because people can use this little piece of little piece of chunk, and it'll go. This will actually last them a little while. This will give them a good sample size. You don't need to sample the whole. You don't need to give them like a completely full Lakon. You don't need to give them like more than this, because they don't need that. A sample size is 1 to 2 uses. They don't need to have it for like, be able to use it a ton. So I do love grabbing these sealing bags and making my own samples and throwing whatever I want in them. Something to keep in mind also is that when I first started out, I did not make my chunk sizes this big. You can cut these. So this, let me show you guys. So this is the hexapeel. So I cut this into little slabs like this, and then I cut it in half, right? So I cut it in half to make this size. Obviously this size. So this is half of the hexapeel slab, and that's what would be a good size that you can throw into a Ziploc. However, if you guys want to go like be a little bit more effective, I suppose is the word that I'm using today, to be more economical and save money, especially if you're brand new, you can do this and you can make them smaller. You can cut this into thirds, so it's like there and there. You can cut these in half. You can cut them into tiny little pieces. When I first started out, when a lot of us first started out and there were no portal samples, we didn't get, like, they didn't have to be a full, like, I don't recommend sampling this size. This is just an example of a piece of a deluxe sample size. But sampling like this is half of it, or you can cut it into thirds. Now, that's kind of the big thing too, is that if you're making samples, you don't need to, make sure you guys aren't giving them a ton of stuff. And I did say that already. 1 to 2 uses is a good sample size. But yeah, these sealing baggies, these sealable baggies are freaking amazing. There's other ones out there that are, that aren't the resealables, the ones that, I don't know, that have this adhesive. Those work really well as well. Usually you can't really buy them at your local store, which is why I don't have these. But you can use this, throw in a business card back there, so it's like super cute. And then you can even drop in some Lakons if you want. And that makes it super cute, very simple. You can throw them in your purse. It's easy to hand them out. You don't need to include a ton of samples. You don't need to include 6 samples every time. You don't need to include one of every single category. I do, like I said, do sample the things that you love and then things that you can talk about. Now, this is my sample box that I got, again, Hobby Lobby, so like way cheap. It's under $5, and I think I used a coupon, so it was like $2 or something like that. And I have my Lakons in here, and they're sorted through. And I just wanted to show you one of these ones, the clear ones that I have, that I put product in. So this, maybe you guys can see that. There you go. This isn't full. If you guys can see this, this is actually a face wash. So this is an older face wash. Oops. This isn't full. You guys don't need to make them full because they don't need it. For example, the BFF, you guys know you only need a little bit each time you use it, so you don't need to fill this up, and it works just fine. I have had customers that have gotten samples before, and they're just like, oh wow, they're like, they were surprised because they're like, it wasn't full, but man, that thing lasted. And so it's like, yes, that's what I want. I want people to like see the snarky and be like, that is a tiny little piece. And then be like, oh my gosh, it stuck together throughout the entire time I used it. Which I've had people say that. And that's a great reaction. You want people to be like, well, that's not that much. And then use it and be like, whoa, that went way farther than I thought it would. An oil in a chunk while traveling. That's another option too. That's a good one too. You can mix and match and do whatever you want, but like I said, you don't need to have the whole snazzy setup. This is how I sample. Like, honestly, I do have the cards somewhere where you can put 6 samples in there on the cards, and you use like the double stick tape. I have done those before. Those work really well with portable parties. And just, for passing out and stuff, because it has all your information on it. If you guys don't know what card I'm talking about, it's a postcard size. You can get it printed on Vistaprint. There should be a template of it in the files in the team page. But I have used those for portable parties, and I really like those, or for online parties or something, because it has everything you need. But keep in mind that you pretty much have to put, like, a good amount of samples on there. You're already putting in the money for the card. You're putting in money for all the Laycons, and so that's already your base. But if you don't have the money to start to do that, or you don't have the supply to even do that many samples, that many variety of samples, that's okay. You don't need to do that. And yeah, here's the thing. So Charlie, they're a little bit. They can be excessive, I think, and a little bit overwhelming, because sometimes people, I don't know about you guys, but I take free things sometimes and I throw it in a bag or throw it in a purse and I don't remember I have it. I'm like really bad. I do that, and I'm sure that we have people that do the same thing. So sometimes I just want to make sure it's something that's very simple that they'll be able to remember, and they won't feel like it's going to be bad for them to kind of dig through it. You know what I mean? If that makes sense. You want them to it's presentable in a way that they want to go through it, and they want to like dig into it, if that makes any sense. But I love sampling chunks because I love chunks. So that is why I stick with the resealable bags. These work really well to throw in a portal sample too. So my like mess of stuff here. So hand cream, well, the hand cream doesn't fit in here very well, but the masks, this size fits in these. And usually I'll do something like that, like this, and then throw in like that. And then these work really well. This doesn't really work unless you fold it, which, I mean, you totally could fold it. It's not a big deal. Some things that I've also done is stapling your business card to your sample, your portal sample. I label my portal samples as well. Make sure you're labeling everything. So this is like the PSA. Label every single thing that leaves your hands. I label every Laycon that I put in these baggies, and then I'm putting my business card in them, and then I'm passing them out with like some sort of flyer, probably with my label on it. So you want to make sure people can find you. There will be no excuse that they're like, I have no idea who I got these samples from. Your label, your name is on every single thing. But yeah, if you're stapling like your business card to the thing, portal sample, you can label it too. I label it with the Road Tech labels. So that's another way to do it. I am a big fan of keeping things simple. If you guys haven't heard of the phrase before or haven't seen any other trainings on it, keep it simple, stupid, KISS. It's so true. I am somebody that I feel like there's really no point in getting super fancy sometimes, because it's going to take a lot of your time, and whether or not is it worth it. And I think, I don't know. I go back and forth. I love my stuff to look really cute and pretty, but at the same time, I'm busy and it's hard. I'm sure all of you guys are busy and it's difficult. So some people love the portal samples because they're simple and easy. That's great. If you don't have the money, or if you don't have, if these are out of stock, it's very simple to just get a chunk, cut it up, and pass these out. Chunks, anything that you're buying will count towards your PV, so you'll get commission on it. So that's one way of kind of looking at that as a business expense, right? Where do I get my tiny labels to put on all my products? Roadtech.com. roteck.com. They comes in this size sheet here, so a lot of labels. I'm not sure how many are on a sheet. And they're like the little small like mini labels or something like that. And yeah, so that's what I put on all of my product. I put that on, so like you'll see it on my product. I have it on all, I put it on anything that's small. Anything that's like the size of my hand, it's on there. So labels or samples, etc. Yeah, and then Dollar Tree has decorative Ziplocs with the different holidays. Yep. So they're $1 for 40 of them. Bit wider than the ones. Okay, so a bit wider than what I've got. And taller. So yeah. It's true, Jamie. The Dollar Tree is like your best friend for finding stuff. And I love this. If you guys didn't see, there was one training that Chelsea did with the Halloween, different ways to sample Halloween stuff. Hers was like, I loved it because some of it was a little bit excessive for me, but it wasn't like, she didn't make any of it look hard. And one thing that you can do with samples in a Ziploc bag, if you're doing like themed samples, throw in some crinkle paper. You can also find in the dollar store. Throw in some crinkle paper, throw in like a piece of candy or two, and it makes it look so much classier for sure, and just so much, I don't know, more enticing. It's more like a present. I mail a lot of my samples though, so usually that's why I don't do that, but if you have them to pass out, then that's awesome. Something also to keep in mind, and I think a lot of people kind of, I don't know, overthink this, I guess. You do not need to hand out samples at a vendor event. That's my personal recommendation, because you are at the vendor event and you already have testers there. So if they wanted to try something, they could try it there. If they wanted to try something in particular, you didn't have it to test there, or it's something they can't try there, like the Cackle Spackle or something like that, or any face mask for that matter, you can always send them home with a sample. But I would not leave a basket of samples for people to take, or to pass out and not have any interaction with these people, because you're not there to give out freebies. You're there to build relationships and to get leads. So make sure that if you guys are doing a vendor event and you guys are kind of stressing about having samples prepared, I don't pass out samples at vendor events. I don't even bring Laycons. I don't bring anything. If somebody's very, very interested in trying a sample of something, then I get their information and I follow up with them and I send something out, or I meet up with them and then ask them how it did. I don't just pass out samples. I used to when I first started. It was completely pointless for me, especially because follow up with these people was very hard and time consuming. So I did not do that. So yeah, keep that in mind. Yeah, face and hair, obviously those are another products, of course, that you'd want to send out because it's not easy to try at a vendor event. Yes, I test out those are the hand creams are the most popular to try at a vendor event. Obviously, they're super easy. If you want to try the body scrubs, you can get a scrub station going with like a beverage dispenser, and I need to do a video for you guys so you guys can see how I've done it, so you can kind of see if you guys want to add that to your vendor event setup. However, I did not do it recently, and I haven't been doing it recently, and I haven't really found, I never found it to be that beneficial. It would bring people to the booth, that was great, but I never sold a lot of scrubs because of it. So I stopped doing it this year, and I didn't see any decrease in sales whatsoever. Try to get their info on an event and tell them that you can meet up for a free one-on-one session. Yeah. Yep. That you want to have a chance to be able to talk to them again. So if they're very interested, they're going to want to stay in contact with you. And it's going to be perfect because you're going to have another touch with them. Because people have to see things more than, they're 7 times or whatever before they trust it and, recognize it. So that's another touch. That's another relationship builder. Baby wipes for scrubs. That's a good idea as well. I always have baby wipes on me because if people want to put a mask on their hand or something like that, then that works as well. Okay, so follow up. If you guys are sampling things to people, you need to make sure that you follow up. If you are at a vendor event, you're getting their information, hopefully, right? You're not like hounding them for their information, but you're asking them to enter your drawing, or, you know, telling them that, you know, do you want to enter my drawing? Or telling them that, you know, oh, sign up for my VIP group and I'll send you an invite, kind of thing, you know, my email list for whatever. And so these are the people you're going to follow up with from a vendor event. If you are passing out samples to people, even without a vendor event, you're out and about the store, or you are sending them out to anybody that might be interested, make sure that you have their contact information and let them know that let them know what to expect, because then you have set the expectation for them and for yourself. So say you handed out a sample pack to somebody and you're saying, hey, do you mind, like, if I can, you know, can I get your information? I'd love to contact you and make sure, like, in a few days, to see what you thought. You can say, I'm new, I haven't, you know, I want to know what you think about these different products, or I want to make sure that these worked out for you. Maybe they were talking about their baby having eczema, and you're like, you know, I'd really love to see if it worked out for you. You know, can I grab your contact information so I can follow up in a few days? Or you don't necessarily have to say follow up, but you could say, so I can see how it worked for your baby, or whatever, you know. Make sure that sampling and being as cutesy as you can be with sampling, or as effective as you think you are with sampling, it doesn't matter if you do not follow through. Because obviously, how many times do you reach out to somebody, or not somebody, but like if you wanted something, do you go out and like do you like the hard way to buy it, or do you just like, oh, well, that's simple, I'll just buy it now from this other person, or, oh, you know, if you're like that, that's how your customers are going to be too. They want the easy way. So being able to just contact them and ask them questions is a lot easier from them going, I don't know what this Laycon is. I have no idea. Oh, well, right? But if you contact them, they're like, oh, you know, I did have a question about this thing. What is this black bar of, you know, what is it? Is it candy? You know, you'd be surprised about what questions people might have, but that's what you're there for. You're there to help them. Okay, I've been putting my VIP group info on my Laycons from samples since I started making them. That's awesome. That is a great way of doing it as well, because then, like I said, you really need to have a way for people to easily find you. Your VIP group is a really great way, very, I think, low pressure way for people to kind of watch and see what they think, and kind of see how how you run your business, and kind of decide if they want to purchase or if they want to ask more questions. If you guys have any questions, let me know. We've been going for a little bit. All right. Yeah, so like I said, sampling is not going to be effective if you don't follow up with people. Sometimes you're going to get those people who will talk to you before, but they won't talk to you after, and that sucks. But you can't, like, you're going to have to just, you know, be like, hey, oh, you didn't get a chance to try it? Like, okay, and then come back to them a week later. Hey, did you get a chance to try it? And eventually, you know, you kind of have to feel it out and see if they're done and they don't want to talk to you, or not. I mean, some people are going to be like that, and that's just really unfortunate. Which is why I do recommend, if you are getting contacted by people who you are not a person, like you don't personally know, then I would recommend that you have them do something before you send out a sample. So for example, if somebody contacts you through Facebook or through whatever social media platform that you're using, and they're like, hey, I've been wanting to try this stuff, you know, can I get some samples from you? Some things that you can do by that, or for that, is like, hey, yeah, I'd love to. I only send out samples to my VIPs though. So like, if you can join my VIP group, I'm happy to send that out. That's one example. Another example you can do is like, oh yeah, I'd love to send you something. I'd love to send out samples to anybody that purchases from my website. If you place the purchase, I would be happy to send some samples your way. That's another thing you can do. This is actually stuff people do, and I do recommend for you to do. Don't just, I know it's exciting when you get contacted, but some of these people, unfortunately, are just in it for the samples and have no interest in helping your business grow. So you want to make sure that you're getting something out of it as well. Yeah. Follow-ups are definitely a lot easier with the VIP groups because, yeah, it's an intimate, it's a more intimate setting in a VIP group, which is a plus because you want people to feel important, and they want to feel included and a part of a group rather than just some random person, you know. Oh, okay. Does anyone have any other questions? I think I kind of went over everything. I'm a big fan of the Laycons because I love that you can sample with anything. You can really quickly, like I said, I've done lots of videos on sampling, so if you guys have questions or want more specifics on sampling, be sure to look through the other videos, or you're welcome to ask on the team page or ask what other people are doing. So this is what I've got. This is a portal sample sticker. However, I do print my own as well when I don't want to buy any from the portal or if I don't have it on hand. So it's a 1-inch label sticker. Got it printed, got the image from the Posh box, and then I have my Rotec label on the back. Okay, now this is super cute. However, you guys do not have to do it this way. If you do not have a printer, or if you do not know for the life of you how to make this sample work, you know, how to make this print on a label correctly, you can very easily get labels, any size labels. They don't have to be circle labels. Any size labels that will fit on top of here, and then handwrite whatever product it is and stick it on there. That works wonders. Something that you can do to add on to it to make it more effective is by including a note saying, here are the samples that I've included for you, and this is why I included them. This is my favorite because X, Y, Z. This one's my favorite because this and this and this. So, and then, you know, it's a personal touch. It's definitely more effective than handing them a baggie of samples. Like, honestly, this works, but this doesn't work if I don't talk to them and tell them what's in there, or tell them why I included these samples, okay? So keep that in mind, is that as personal as you can make it is how effective it's going to be. It doesn't have to be cute. That's not the point. The point is to get posh on the people and to make it personal, okay? So those are the two that I've added, I guess, two now. Posh on the people, make it personal. Doesn't have to be freaking cute. Just don't make it ugly. That's what Sarah Lucas says, that. Don't make it ugly. As long as it's not ugly, it'll be perfectly fine. Doesn't have to be like this. It can be just as long as they know what it is and they have some they can try, then it'll be fine. Ginger, I have to find my 1-inch labels. They used to have them. Avery used to have them, and then I couldn't find them anymore. It drove me insane. But I find them online. I do not do the full sheet stickers. And I assume people can find those online. I'm super lazy. I'm not gonna punch out my stickers. Like I said, if it's like so difficult, I will not do it. Like, you're lucky that I print off some of these. Sometimes I'm just like, oh, I'll just write it. I'm not gonna find I'm not gonna find the picture and then print it off. Time is money, guys. If you're busy, do what works. Yeah, Amazon is your best friend for just about everything. You have to jump on the how are you not on the Amazon ship? Amazon's amazing. We buy everything from there. Yeah, like everything. Toilet paper, guys. We buy toilet paper from Amazon. Okay. Also, like I said, just don't make it ugly, right? Paint pots. I have used paint pots, like the strip of paint pots, cut each of them up and put samples in that. That works fine. And then use little stickers to write on it. That works. Oh, Jamie, you're hilarious. I don't know. If it's easy, then I'll do it. If it's not easy, then I'm like, oh, why? Let's make it easier. So keep it simple. If I had one Posh like mantra or tip or whatever for any question, keep it simple. It doesn't have to be difficult. If I've made it this far with like baggies, this is what I did when I started, guys. If I've made it this far with this, you guys can do it. There's so many more resources now than there was when I started. So you guys have a lot in your arsenal to go with. Yeah, seriously, Jamie and I are on the same page. I think we've talked about this before where we're like, no way are we doing that. We're not going to make it harder than it has to be. I've also printed out, there have where is it? I think I found this on the Rockstar page. This is just a blank one. And so I just printed some of these and then you can just write on it. So if you are somebody that doesn't want to do, it doesn't have to be, you don't have to print off for every single product, or maybe you're sampling, you don't sample a ton, so it makes no sense to, buy a whole sticker sheet of something. You can always get this, make this, and then write in what it is. So for example, maybe you have somebody that really, really wants, cheers my dears or something like that, and you have it so you can sample it, but you're like, I don't really need like tons of stickers because I never sample that out, or no one's ever asked me that before. You can use this works fine. If you wanted to make it cute, you could do that, or just use a piece of paper or use a little label, write it on there and stick it on. It works perfectly. It works just fine. Oh yeah, that works too. You can use those and write your label or put your info on there. I have done that in the past before the Rotec labels, before I got really lazy apparently. I did make my own labels to stick on the back of mine. So I'd have this, and then on the back I'd have another round label that I'd made. But then I got sick of printing them out, and so that's why I use these ones. I think I ran out of them, which is how I got to using the Rotex. And I'm like, well, that works. They're cheap and easy. Yep. Oh yeah, colored garage sale price stickers work well too, and you can find those at the dollar store. Those were great. Anything you can stick to it. Piece of paper and tape, that works, guys. Alright, do you guys have any questions or anything else to add? I'm sorry I was late. I kind of got stuck at IKEA for a very long time. Awesome. Okay, no questions. You guys are good? Awesome. I am so glad that you guys are able to join, and hopefully this was a good, I don't know. I don't think I'm like that. I don't know. I hope this is a good kind of wake-up call and a good, hopefully, help you guys out for anybody that's stressing about doing things the wrong way. There is no wrong way. You are your own business. You can do it however you want. You only want to sample out chunks because they're fine. You love them so much and they're cheap. Do that. You can't sample out chunks because you can't figure out how to cut them. That's okay. Hand creams, they will be your lifesaver. Thanks, guys. We get stuck at IKEA often sometimes. Yeah, begrudgingly, my husband. Anyway. Yeah. Anyways, I get distracted. Okay, so yes, you guys are your own business. You can decide how you want to do it. If you guys want to sample a certain way, you can do it that way. You don't have to do what you see other people doing. You can do what works for you, and there is really no wrong way. And that, like Jamie, seriously, that is like the best thing. It's only wrong when you make an excuse and don't do it. So no excuses. Chunks sample too hard to cut? Reach out to somebody. We will teach you how to do it. Or go with something that's a little easier to cut. There are tips and tricks that we can give to you guys. Can't cut the chunk sample no matter how many tips and tricks you have. Cut a snarky bar. Easy, flipping peasy. That's like, seriously. It's so, you can do whatever you want with this business. So keep that in mind. You guys you are going to go as far as you want to go, and you guys are the ones that get to decide what you want to do with this business. And we are all here to help you guys along the way. So hopefully you guys are not feeling too overwhelmed or too stressed with the holiday season. And hopefully you guys are super excited for the splurge coming up. That is coming up this week if I'm not. Yep, the 17th. So on Thursday at 10 a.m. Mountain Time. Don't forget to pay attention to what the splurge is. It's going to be amazing, guys. All right. I'll talk to you guys later. Thank you guys so much for joining. Yeah, I'm so glad Facebook Live is working now. I will talk to you guys later. If you guys have any questions at all, be sure to reach out to your sponsor, to your team page, to your premier, anybody, your favorite Posh person. We are all here to help you guys. And I hope you guys all have a great night.